without taking much time, friends, I would like to start with my presentation. And can you see the presentation, please?
Yes, sir. We can see Rameshji.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm so happy to know that your club is engaged in WASH-related projects. Your club is engaged in WASH in schools, in lake rejuvenation. And I've been also been given to understand that your club is also, with the support of, in partnership with Sri Sri Foundation, going to be engaged in rejuvenation of river Palar. So that is going to be a great initiative, and as a matter of fact, a need of the day. And I'm so happy that your club is already engaged in WASH, and you decided that the WASH should also be included during your this leadership conclave besides health and literacy. So, friends, coming to the Indian story, I would like to begin with some of the why that Rotary consider WASH as an important area of focus. Friends, we all know that we have 7 areas of focus. The 7th area, environment, has just been recently included in our area of focus. Talking about the success, when we talk about the success of any of these areas of focus, the WASH is precursor. Until unless we achieve success in WASH area of focus, we won't be able to achieve success in any of the remaining 6 areas of focus. So we can just understand how important is water sanitation hygiene. The BAL was also talking about sustainable development and the maternal, fertility rate and neonatal deaths, so on and so forth. So in 2015, 193 heads of states set up 17 set of goals known as SDGs. That was, the goals were set in 2015 during United Nations General Assembly. So almost every, each of the 17 goals pertain to WASH. But I would like to specify here 2 goals, SDG 3 and SDG 7, they directly connect with WASH area of focus. The goal 3 talks about good health and well-being of every human being in this world. It also talks, BAL also talked about, 109, maternal deaths out of, 1 lakh new births. So this is a very high maternal deaths taking place in India. So the 2000, this SDG 3 talks about reducing this maternal deaths to 70 per 1 lakh new births. SDG 3 also talks about reducing neonatal deaths to 12 out of 1,000 new births. It also talks about under 5 deaths to be reduced to at least 25, below 25 per 1,000 new births. And SDG 6 talks about universal access to water and sanitation to every human being on this earth by 2030. So we can just understand why WASH is so important. It is not only for Rotary, but every country across the world is focusing on water sanitation hygiene. Let me share with you some of these statistics across the world, the water and sanitation challenges. Almost 1/3 of world population lack access to improved sanitation. And almost 10% of world population doesn't have access to safe water. And 15%, in spite of all the best efforts by the countries across the world, 15% world population is still deficit. 40% of school days in developing nations don't have access to improved water and sanitation. And mark my words, friends, 1 out of every every 5 deaths under the age of 5 are related to poor wash conditions. And nearly 80% of the deaths in the developing countries are attributed to poor wash. So we can just imagine the kind of situation that we face in terms of wash. Talking about India, friends, India has 17% of world population, and we have only 4% share of water resources, and our land mass share is only 2.4%, and 17% of population living in India with just 4% of water share. You can just imagine. And talking about the availability of water per capita per day is below 1500 right now, and it is going down very, very rapidly. And it is going to go beyond 1000 by 2050. And it is then there is going to be a huge crisis for water. Talking about today, 21 cities of India, including your own city, Bangalore, is faced with availability of water. 600 million people in this country are challenged with availability of water. And as per the data of March 2019, only 3.27 lakhs households out of 18.79 or so households have individual household tap connection. So it's a huge challenge in terms of water availability. Talking about sanitation challenges, friends, India achieved open defecation free status in 2019, where over 6 lakhs villages across India self-declared themselves as open defecation free. Over 40,000 cities across India declared themselves open defecation free. But in spite of that, there are still many lakhs of households across India which don't have functional toilets. So there is a challenge exists. Even if the toilets are there, they are not functional. They have gone defunct because during Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, the toilets were built in hurry without due diligence. So there is a challenge. In India, we have over 15.5 lakhs schools. 70% of these schools are government schools. But only around 55% of these schools have hand washing facilities with soap. And we can well imagine during these difficult times of COVID-19, hand washing with soap is so critical and so important. In India, we have around 30,000 healthcare facilities, and 7% of these facilities don't have water. And 45% of these facilities don't have sanitation facilities. So just, friends, imagine the kind of challenge, in spite of the best efforts by Government of India under the dynamic leadership of Narendra Modi, there is a huge challenge. Friends, we all know whenever a school bus with children meets with an accident, it becomes a breaking news. And one of the breaking news recently in the month of February 2021 was when a school bus with 25 people fell into a canal, and it became a breaking news, and it was telecast live across all the big TV channels. But in this country, my dear friends, over 1,000 children die every day. They die every day because of diarrhea morbidity arising out of poor wash facilities. It doesn't capture the attention of anyone, including media, politicians, our governments. So I'm just trying to highlight the challenge that we face today. And diarrhea morbidity is one of the major reasons for deaths in India. And more than 10% deaths globally are due to diarrhea morbidity. Talking about India, it's more than 40%. deaths related to diarrhea morbidity arising out of poor wash. And look at each and every component of wash. How the intervention related to wash helps in preventing diarrhea morbidity. Just one act of hand washing, friends, can reduce the diarrhea morbidity to the extent of 44%. Maintaining good hygiene practices can reduce diarrhea morbidity to 42%. By improving the quality of water, 39%. Through intervention of sanitation, 36%. And water supply at the local level, we can reduce the diarrhea morbidity to the extent of 23%. So friends, this is why wash is so important. And let me share with you how Rotary clubs in India or the Rotary India are engaged. Our Indian story in the context of Rotary. Many of you may be aware that in 2014, our Honorable Prime Minister launched Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and he made a appeal to all the NGOs, including India, including Rotary, to support Swachh Bharat Abhiyan in whatever best possible way. And in 2014, in the month of December, in Chennai, there was a zonal institute. And during the Chennai Institute, our senior Rotary leadership signed a Chennai Declaration, as we call it. At that time, Urban Development Minister used to be Venkaiah Naidu. Currently, he's Vice President of India. So Rotary India committed that day that Rotary clubs across India are going to engage in a big way and going to support Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. And since 2014, my dear friends, the Rotary clubs across India are engaged in over 30,000 schools, benefiting more than 6 million children and 5 million families. The Rotary clubs across India have constructed over 150,000 household toilets, large number of public and community toilets, benefiting over 6 lakhs. We have provided clean drinking water in large number of communities in various regions across India, including in your own district. And I'm going to talk about that little later. The Rotary clubs have also constructed over 300 watersheds across India, benefiting large number of people and over 500 villages and touching the lives of 1 million people. Talking about our work in WASH area of focus, the Rotary Foundation has invested over 140 million US dollars, that is 841 crores of rupees, till date, with 1,626 global grants from 2014 to 2019. And you will be happy to know that 39% of WASH work takes place in Asia, and 23% of the entire WASH work happens in our country. And talking about our country, during a period of 5 years, 2014 to 2019, the Rotary has invested 176 crores of rupees through 325 global grants. But actual work, this is only through global grants, but we also do a lot of work through district grants, through case contributions. So just multiply this by at least 10 times. In other words, I strongly believe that the Rotary has invested around 1,700 crores of rupees towards WASH area. Okay. So taking all these things, our work into account, Rotary India leadership in 2020, the last year in the month of March, under the guidance and leadership of our incoming world leader, Shekhar Mehta, decided that we got to enhance our scale as well as the reach in WASH area of focus. And we decided that we should set some challenging goals for our Rotary clubs to be achieved by 2025. So these are the 6 areas of focus under WASH in which our Rotary clubs are going to be engaged in support of the Government of India's various initiatives like Jal Shakti Abhiyan. Of course, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is already there. The second phase of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan launched in 2019. Jal Shakti Abhiyan, Jal Jeevan Mission, so on and so forth. So the first one is watershed development. The second one is transformation of water bodies. The third one is rainwater harvesting. Fourth one is under Jal Jeevan Mission household tap connections in villages. Har Ghar Nal Se Jal. WASH in schools, our ongoing initiative. WASH in healthcare facilities. Building toilets in households, in communities, in public areas. So these are the 6, the broad areas under which our Rotary clubs are going to work during the next 5 years. So talking about the watershed development, this can be in the forms of check dams, farm ponds, tanks, gave-in structures, continuous contour, staggered trenches, earthen bunding. And our goal, my dear friends, is to do 10,000 watershed development projects by 2025-26, and the goal for 2021-22 is 1,000 such projects. Stuck. Okay, the second one is transportation of water bodies, and I'm so happy that your club is already engaged in rejuvenation of village lakes. So our goal is 10,000 water bodies by 2005-2026 and 750 in 2021-22. Haven't got stuck up.
Can't help you, Pradeep.
Okay, rainwater harvesting. So friends, we all know about rainwater harvesting. Our goal is doing 50,000 rainwater harvesting projects by 2025-26 and 5,000 during the next 4 years. Household tap connections. This is also an initiative under Jal Jeevan Mission. And I was telling you earlier, in March 2019, only 3.27 crore rural households out of 17.87 crore households had individual house tap connections. Although April 2021, I think the Government of India, we have been able to provide household tap connections to 7 crore households, but still, the long way to go. So our goal is, we have set a very, very, not that challenging goal of doing, providing household tap connections in 1,000 villages by 2024, because this scheme is going to be over by 2024. So our goal is to do 1,000 villages by 2024. WASH in Schools, friends, is a very, very popular program across India, and majority of our clubs are engaged in WASH in Schools program. And as I already told you, that 70% of around 1.5 million schools are government schools. The coverage, individually talking about the coverage, water, sanitation, hygiene is more than 90%. But when we talk about that, how many schools have all these three facilities: water, sanitation, and hand washing with soap? Only 55% schools. And even if you, uh, survey the schools in your own district in rural areas, you will find that many schools are struggling for water and hand washing with soap. So our goal perfectly aligns with the national, the program launched by Government India, by Clean School campaign launched by Government of India in 2014, Swachh Vidyalaya, Swachh Bharat scheme. So now this has been changed to Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, recently launched by Government of India. So our program perfectly aligns with that, and our goal, my dear friends, for the to be achieved by 2024-25. Okay, is 55,000 washing schools project by 2025-26 and 5,000 schools in 2021-22. Our program is also going to align with Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar launched by Government of India. And once the COVID, there's a little bit of relief from COVID when the school starts, the Government of India is going to relaunch this Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar. And this thing is to align our work, our program in such a way that we are able to ensure that the schools where the Rotary clubs are engaged are able to get recognition with Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar 2021-22. Washing healthcare facilities, I already told you, 31,000 healthcare facilities, only 7% of these facilities have water, only 45% have sanitation, and healthcare workers in many of these, actually, specifically in primary healthcare centers, they don't maintain good hygiene practices, and 130 mothers die out of every 1 lakh newborns, and 28 out of 1,000 newborns do not survive beyond their first month. So I've already shared with you SDG 3 that the goal of Government of India is to reduce, this maternal deaths to the extent of 70, and this neonatal deaths to the extent of below 12. Our goal is to do 500, wash in healthcare facilities by 2025. So this is a very, very modest goal that we have set, and taking into account, COVID pandemic, I urge our clubs in India to focus on washing healthcare. Washing healthcare probably is, much more needed program today in India, taking into account the second wave of COVID-19 and the third wave, which is going to come and which is going to affect children in a big way. Household toilets, 120,000 household toilets by 25-26, 20,000 21-22, and our focus is also on construction of public toilets and community toilets, and we have set a very modest goal of doing 1,000 public and community toilets put together by 2025 and 100 in 21-22. Talking about your own district, I am so happy that I've been to your district several times as reviewing community drinking water project in your district, or to talk about washing schools program. And I'm so happy that not only, of course, your club is the lead club, but there are other clubs who are actively engaged in WASH, like the community drinking water project that is happening in the outskirts of Bangalore under a global grant, where your district 3190 and Rotary Club of RT Nagar as a lead club. And I happened to, review this project in 2019. I had gone there, and I was so happy to see, the kind of benefit this Safe Drinking Water project has been able to provide, benefiting over 30,000 people in this water-starved areas where the water level is so low. That is one challenge. The other challenge is the water quality is so bad, and the RO intervention was needed. And I'm so happy that your district with RT or Rotary Club of RT Nagar as the lead club engaged in providing community drinking water in 15 communities, benefiting over 30,000 people. And your Rotary Himalaya Pure Hands initiative is a 2019 initiative when Samir, immediate past district governor, Samir was the governor. It was launched during that time. And I'm so happy, Bal was talking about scale. This is the scale, reaching out to over 1,440 schools, benefiting over 2 lakh children, creating awareness about maintaining good hygiene habits. And during this COVID pandemic time, it is so relevant and so important to maintain and practice good hygiene. So these are the 2 projects. And besides that, I know that you already, Dilip already shared, the kind of projects your club has been engaged in. But my humble request to your club, Rotary Club of Bangalore, as one of the oldest club, not only District 3190, but across India, that it is time for your club to engage aggressively in WASH area of focus. As I mentioned in the beginning, that the WASH is precursor. If you want to achieve in any of the areas of focus, I think first we got to focus on WASH. Whether we talk about basic education literacy, if you want to make India 100% literate, the need of the day is to ensure that every school has access to water. Whether we talk about health, disease prevention treatment, maternal child health, or peace building, environment, and the many components in environment, my dear friends, overlap with WASH area of focus. So we can just imagine and understand how important each WASH today. I am also a member of WASH Major Gifts Initiative of the Rotary Foundation. So wherever I go and address on WASH, it becomes my responsibility to also talk about this WASH Major Gifts Initiative. This initiative was launched by Rotary Foundation in 2016. And our goal, my dear friends, is to raise $15 million by 2024. And how you can support this initiative? You can make outright endowment gifts, through directed gifts, through term gifts. We can support this initiative. We can dedicate, $30,000 US and dedicate for WASH. That can be utilized when you do your global grant projects, not only in your district, but across the world, wherever you want to apply. By making commitments, like the Ramesh Agarwal, who has committed to contribute $100 million to the Rotary Foundation. If the district governor is present here, he can commit some portion of DDF for WASH, so that money can be utilized for WASH work across the globe. So friends, this was my presentation on water sanitation, hygiene, and our Indian story in the context of Rotary. Why WASH is so important, and why we as Rotarians should focus